Okay, everyone. Whew, need to get in the center here. I know this has been a late night for me. I had so much material to catch up on that I was just like, fuck it. I am just going to do it all tonight, get it all edited. That way I could get rid of the backlog. I've had this sitting in my to broadcast on folder for a while, but I did want to wait till after the election. I don't know. I just didn't want to deal with it prior to the election. And it's funny thing is I thought emotions would be too high then, and I guess they're pretty high now. But before he actually officially leaves office, I did want to deal with this and have it on video to be memorialized, because I have a feeling, on Twitter, things are so ephemeral. And I'm not so sure how many people remember this series of tweets by Justin Amash just completely taking the piss out of Donald Trump. And I wanted to go over them. This is going to be a relatively short stream, as usual. Appreciate your comments. It can be longer if you guys want to chat. Excuse me. With this headphones on, it's hard to put on these glasses. So I'm going to remind you of a tweet that Trump did that Amashs responded to. So let's look at the original tweet first. See if I can get that up here. No, where did I put it? Let me see. Right here, I think. Put me up. Put this up and put this up. Here we go. I don't know how it got all off the screen, but here we go. If you recall, Donald Trump, thank you, Libertarians. We're getting it all done and fast. Vote Trump. This was on October 16th. And Senator Rand Paul was carrying that water and kissing that ass, saying just spoke with real Donald Trump. He sounds great. Doesn't sound so great now. And wants Libertarians and everyone across the country to know he is ending the war in Afghanistan. All right. That got my goat back then, as if, Libertarians are going to be wanting to vote for Trump. It's like, dude, I know you huff your own farts, but we're not huffing those parts. Did I say farts? Whatever. You know what I'm saying here. So let's start to take a look at what did Justin Amash have to say to all of this, and it was spectacular. So let's pull up Amash's tweets here, if I can get that going. One sec. Why aren't my things wanting to work well today? Okay, here we go. So let's take this off. Let's take this off. Put up that. There we go. Put up that. There we go. And let's go to the first page of these. He did a lot. So I need to pull this up on my screen here so I can read it. So Justin Amash starts with Donald Trump is no libertarian or friend to libertarians. Amen to that. He's a national populist whose agenda centers around collective identity, not individual rights. That should be pretty obvious, but the few deluded libertarians I saw arguing for Trump didn't seem to get that. And he continues, Trump doesn't respect federalism or separation of powers, declaring that when somebody is the president of the United States, the authority is total and that's the way it's gotta be. Yep. I just finding these tweets even more delicious right now. He consistently undermines local decision-making and supports new forms of central planning. Yep. He threatened online speech. Libertarians, or Trumpertarians, or whatever you want to call them, seem to forget that. By signing an executive order on Section 230, in which he sought to rewrite the law and punish private actors for exercising their First Amendment secured rights. Then he goes on to say, Trump directed a federal crackdown on vaping products. We remember that. Pepperidge Farm remembers. And signed a bill raising the federal tobacco age to 21. That's pretty anti-libertarian and rights violating. Continuing to get funding for his wall. He used unprecedented claims of emergency power to usurp Congress's authority over appropriations. And now he's using eminent domain, which is explicitly prohibited in our Statement of Principles, to seize private land to speed up construction. Yep, not very libertarian. Trump has spent billions of taxpayer dollars. Oh, I don't have you guys on the second page here. Hold on, I'm on the second page, but you guys aren't. Let me get you there. There we go. So let's continue. Trump has spent billions of taxpayer dollars bailing out the agriculture industry that he harmed with his own trade policies. Talk about government breaking your legs and then giving you crutches and telling you to be thankful for it. And he signed a bill extending the cronyist Export-Import Bank for 7 years. He supported government central planning in the labor market by taking measures to further limit legal immigration. Another very anti-libertarian action. Trump raised taxes by charging Americans billions of dollars in tariffs. And he negotiated a trade deal, USMCA, that actually increases the federal government's interference in trade between individuals. Continuing, he says he will always protect your Second Amendment right. Yeah, but he banned bump stocks, expressed support for red flag laws, and declared that we should take the guns first, go through due process second. Trump rails against surveillance of his own associates, but he signed FISA 702 and a Patriot Act reauthorization, hired DOJ leadership that supports warrantless surveillance, and attacked private companies for refusing to build government backdoors into everyone's phone. Go to the next page. Trump also revived the federal death penalty. Now, this is something I didn't know until I read this from Amashs. He's executed more people in the last few months than his predecessors had in more than 60 years. He detained an American citizen without charge or trial for over a year. Trump's AGs have also worked to impose the federal government on state and local criminal justice systems by attacking local efforts at reform. He has fought federal policing reform, and he sent federal police to interfere in matters within local officials' jurisdictions. Trump loves to tout his record on criminal justice reform, but he appointed attorneys general that have expanded civil asset forfeiture and ended Department of Justice policies that were intended to limit marijuana enforcement and reduce harsh criminal sentencing. Donald Trump wants to win the support of libertarians, but his actual record on expanding the federal government and eroding liberty is appalling. Let's continue that one more here, a couple more on this last page. Trump has overseen a significant increase in U.S. military spending and brags about how much is being spent on military equipment. He also bypassed Congress to push through weapons sales to foreign countries, including billions of dollars in arms to Saudi Arabia, and he used the prospect of lucrative arms sales to excuse the Saudis after their government's murder of journalist Hamal. I can never pronounce the last name. I believe it's Khashoggi. Sorry, you guys know I suck at last names. So I'll repeat the one thing from the former page. Donald Trump wants to win the support of libertarians, but his actual record on expanding the federal government and eroding liberty is appalling. So just wanted to reiterate for the record before he finally goes out that he was no friend to libertarians. You could point to a few specific things he did that we might have been okay with or even approved of. But his entire mindset and trajectory was anti-libertarian. Now, do I think Biden's going to be any good? Absolutely not. But let's not fool ourselves that Trump was some great friend to libertarians, that we would have, necessarily been all that better off if he were reelected. Who knows what he would have done when he wasn't having to worry about trying to get reelected. Not that I'm sure he worried about that terribly much. So let me get this stuff off the screen if I can. I really did think I set this all up, but apparently I did not. All right, that was it. I just really wanted to have all that in one spot for posterity. I'll be getting this up also on my YouTube channel, and we've had a few watchers, even though it's late, but no comments. I want to give you a couple moments just in case anyone did want to produce a comment. If there's any libertarian Trump supporters, you know I will interact with almost every comment as long as it is respectable, not abusive. All right. I don't think anyone is awake enough to do that at this point, so I will bid you guys a good night. I will see you tomorrow. Be maybe doing some live stream for the cult of RONR. I need to see if Mike Seebeck's willing to do that. So have an awesome night, everyone. See you then.
You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business, not because they want to